Hello YouTube, this is A-Ikyo Einstein from Patforest Science. I will be doing a Python tutorial.
So today, as you guys can see, I increased the font and changed the colors of things a bit so that it would be a lot more it would be a lot easier to see, follow up what I'm doing and so on. So last time I believe that we finished defining define. Get it? Defining define. And I believe that classes would be a bit too big for us to handle. So I decided us to do a bit of, well, should I say looping? Yeah, looping. So loops in programs can be very important, and they are very important when you want a certain thing to continue and repeat again and again and again. So yes, they are pretty important. So now I'll just show you. Obviously, we can use this for a loop while. Yes, while is used for a loop. So there are several aspects. We can say while true. This will, as long as the answer is true, it's going to go over and on forever. This is while false. So as long as the answer is false, it will go on forever and ever. The while true and sorry, while true and while false, both of them they like go on forever because if you do it like this. However, so if I were to do this while true, print happy. It's going to print happy for the rest of eternity. Not very funny, that is. But yeah, I'm just gonna restart that so that the loop would stop. I'll press enter. After what happened the other time, yeah, G is not defined. I know. But there's something smart that you can do. Once you're making games and other things and you want the game loop to continue, it has to go on. But what about the quit button? What about the stop? So then you can do this. Run is equals to true. Right? Good. Now you do this clever thing. While run, we're going to redefine run is equals to inputs. I hope the difference in the color between run and the input is clear enough. Run is equals to input continue. No, let me say go on. Go on. And this may not look like much, but I'll show you what it's going to do in a minute. Run is equals to go run. So now we're going to use if and else. So if, no wait, we don't need if, do we? No, we don't. There we go. Then we just, well, then we say break. Is it break? Now we just leave it like that. So this is going to continue for eternity. Go on. So if we put true, it's going to go on again. If we put true, it's going to go on. If we go true again, it's going to keep going. But if we put false, what? Okay. Give me a moment. Okay guys, I made quite a mistake. So when you're programming, you have a main and then you have your while and then you have your run. So then you can simply put that, you can simply just add if, we'll just copy this, we'll copy all of this. Oh, now I remember, I know exactly what we did wrong. While run is equals to, we put 2 equals to true, all of this is going to happen. So while is kind of like an if, not really, but it's conditional. The reason why you put 2 equals to, 1 equals to meaning that you're signing it, 2 equals to meaning that you're comparing. So now if we continue it, it gives me a wonderful error. Cool. because I restarted the shell. I forgot. First, let me put the first value of run. Run is equals to true at first. Then paste. And look, as long as this is true, now I got the problem. Sincerely, this time I found our answer. This is a programming class. Accidents can happen. But when they do, it's your teacher's job to make sure they don't happen. So now I made a mistake ish. Wow, cut this out. I'm so sorry for all the accidents. Don't worry, bear with me, because I finally found the solution. That happens in Python. Run is equals to input go on. So this is the thing. If run is equals to yes. So now the reason why the thing I forgot is because input will convert whatever you have into guess what? A string. Input's default format is a string, but this is called a boolean in Python. So you don't want to answer a string and put a string where a boolean is supposed to be. So when they ask while run is equals to true, it's meaning true as a boolean. So the real comparison there how they look like with of course with these double quotes on top of them. So if we say if run is equals to yes, a shorter word this time, we'll say that run again can now be equals to true. As we're doing this, it's being a boolean like before, and then we'll add our else run is equals to false. Continue, go on. As long as it is yes, it's going to keep going on. And this time, when it's not yes, yay! Okay, guys, that was incredible. So today, I guess you know, we'll be taking, once again, let me repeat, we're taking while, if, no, we're just taking while loops. But in the but that will also mean that we'll have to use if, elif, and else. Okay, the reason why this and is like this is because and is also a reserved word in Python, so I'll just put it like this, yeah, and else. Now, as I said, while makes a loop. If is the condition, elif is a middle term if you want to use one, and else is the ending term. So you have to have an if before you have an else, and you need to have an if in order to have an else. You need to have an if and an else in order to have an else, but you don't need to have an else to have an elif. But that means that if it's not there, it could give you an error, or you'll have a big confusion in your programming code. So let's quickly write a program to add numbers up to a certain range. And this may not sound like much, but in future, when you want to do certain things, this kind of thing will be very important. So first off, we're going to make our number. Let's just say a is equals to 0. Then we'll do what? Then we'll do b is equals to input, oops, input, enter the limit. Um, 300. Okay. While a is less than b, which is the number that I may have put, while A is less than B, that's the number that I may have put, then it means that sorry, I'm adding. So then we say that A is equals to A plus 1. Or you could just say A is plus equals to 1. Something like that. But the last time I did that, it didn't work very well for some reason. Then it will print our A. The reason we don't have to put it in double quotes because A has a value, it's not valueless. And bet me and see, people, this is going to show you a very big fat error. And I did this on purpose. It said not type error not supported. And I did this very important on purpose because we also need to know about our types very well. Our int, our floats, and our string. I intentionally omitted something here which caused this to happen. 300 is a number, but as it's a string, it's seen as a word and not a number. Therefore, the computer interprets an error as you're comparing numbers to words and thereof. So now we're going to repeat the entire thing, but there's one small difference. Our value of A, did it increase? I don't know. Just in case, I will once again say A is equal to 0. But this time, when I say B is equals to input, we're not going to do that. We're going to put int, then input, then enter the limit. Ha! So this is called genius. Now, the thing here is you could just say after that B is equals to the integer form of B, but that's a waste of time. So you can just say from the beginning that B is the integer form of whatever is here. But at the same time, it means if you put words, that is going to give you a fat error. So this time when we put 300 and we copy and paste our while from here. So when we copy and paste this, it's going to go on and go on and go on and go on and until it reaches 100, sorry. But don't worry, I won't keep you. Let me just discuss. So you can see how cool this is. You can also use the same process to count down. So as soon as it hit 100, it stopped because it listened to what we said. So now we have learned two things. You can also use while as an if, just that, So you could have easily done while, I don't know, true, right? Then you could have done while run is equals to true. Then you'd have done if A is greater than 300, then run is equals to false, else run is equals to true. Yeah, but that was long, and you can easily do this piece of code, which is much shorter. So thank you everybody so much. See you in the next lesson.
Thank you all so much for watching the video, and don't forget to LCSS. Bye everybody. See you next time.